Hey everyone, and welcome to Living in Ottawa. And in this episode, we're going to cover the new official plan for the City of Ottawa. There's a lot of changes in the pipeline for this growing city. But first, show reel, hit it. Vibrant, multicultural, and rich in history, Ottawa is one of the fastest growing cities in the province of Ontario and even in Canada. In 2019, the city surpassed 1 million people, and there aren't any signs of slowing down anytime soon. According to the Ontario Ministry of Finance, the population of Eastern Ontario is projected to grow another 27.9% over the projected period, from 1.91 million to 2.44 million. And Ottawa is projected to grow fastest at 39%, from 1.03 million in 2019 to 1.43 million in 2046. Prompted by the population boom in November of 2020, the City of Ottawa released their draft copy of the new official plan, outlining their vision for the future and policy frameworks to guide the city development. Many of the proposed frameworks are rooted, as the City of Ottawa new official plan puts it, to adapt to an increasing pace of change, whether in the context of the climate crisis, economic disruptions, emerging technologies, or changing demographics. Right now, the current official plan is from 2003, and as the needs of the city continue to evolve, this plan is welcomed by many. Council will vote on the new official plan by fall 2021, and it's expected to be approved by the ministry later this year. In this video, I'll be laying out the city's biggest policy moves and going over the top 10 most important highlights. From housing to parks and recreation facilities, there's a lot to cover, so let's jump right into it. The 5 big policies. As outlined in the new official plan, here are the City of Ottawa's priorities for the next few decades to come. Number 1, growth. Achieve the end of the planning period, more growth by intensification than by greenfield development. This growth will provide a variety of affordable housing options for residents. Number 2, mobility. By 2046, the majority of trips in the City of Ottawa will be made by sustainable transportation. Number 3, urban design. Improve our sophistication in urban and community design and put this knowledge to the service of good urbanism at all scales, from the largest to the very small. Number 4, resilience. Embedded public health, environmental change, climate change, energy resilience into the framework of our planning policies. Number 5, economy. Embedded economic development into the framework of our planning policies. This Big 5 policies framework is set to underpin the foundation of the future city planning and drive the city's ambitious goal to become the most livable mid-sized city in North America. And that's exciting news and a lofty goal. So let's cover the top 10 highlights. Here are some of the most notable pieces in the new official plan that will help you decide whether to stay, relocate, or move to Ottawa. Number 1, city boundaries. With the City of Ottawa anticipating a growth of almost 500,000 people over the course of the next 25 years, which is expected to be around 194,800 new private households, supporting growth within the existing neighborhoods, undeveloped greenfield areas within the city's urban boundaries, and expanding the city boundaries are key areas of focus in the new official plan. The official plan will increase the share of future growth to be within the Ottawa's existing built-up area of 60% by 2046 by putting in place zoning and other mechanisms to give the city option not to further expand the urban boundary beyond 2046. Affordable housing, regulations to ensure new builds complement characters of existing neighborhoods, and the city's commitment to climate change responsibilities are at the center of Ottawa's new growth policies. Number 2, housing. The city's expected much of the new housing demands to be ground-oriented units, which include single-detached, semi-detached, and row house dwellings. However, in the Greenbelt area, where built-up areas already exist, housing builds are expected to be in the form of apartments. In the Greenfield region, many of the new housing will be ground-oriented units located in the suburban transect. There is a target of at least 10% of new dwellings in the Greenfield region to be in the form of apartments. In the rural areas of Ottawa, the city anticipates a 7% growth of new housing in the form of single detached builds. As the City of Ottawa new official city plan states, new policies will increase the variety of affordable, low-rise housing options for residents within the existing neighborhoods close to hubs and corridors within a walkable 15-minute neighborhoods. Number 3, regeneration. Another major highlight in the new official plan is the focus on regeneration. The city defines regeneration as the development of property, site, or area at a higher density than currently exists. And the City of Ottawa emphasizes that regeneration of the city is not just about increasing urban density, but over the course of new strategic plan, guidelines will be set in place to ensure that the community infrastructure and neighborhood amenities are to be built around neighborhoods to create a 15-minute neighborhood, meaning everything you need will be within a 15-minute walking distance. This includes groceries, services, parks, recreational facilities, public spaces, and other elements that complete a neighborhood. Number 4, employment. According to the City of Ottawa, as Canada's capital, almost 30% of the city's economic activity and 1/3 of the employed residents are attributable to the public sector, which includes all 3 levels of government and government-funded organizations like universities and hospitals. In addition to the public sector, knowledge-based industries including communications, technology, software, aerospace, defense and security, digital media, life sciences, and clean technology are a major employer and economic engine of Ottawa. By 2046, employment in Ottawa is projected to grow to 189,000 jobs. At the heart of the city's plan is to help accelerate growing employment is to create a city that attracts skilled workforce and businesses by ensuring policies support livable cities that are resilient with a variety of safe, affordable, vibrant, mixed-use areas with access to green space and cultural life and social harmony. This is largely to be reimagined through the regeneration process the city has put forward. While the downtown core is expected to remain the most important employment hub in the city, the new official plan includes a vision of diversifying all other regions of the city, like outer urban corridors and suburban town centers as areas of economic growth. In line with the concept of a 15-minute neighborhood, the city aims to support small businesses who provide services within these 15-minute neighborhoods, with minimalized initial startup costs and ongoing overhead. Number 5, rural economic development. With over 80% of Ottawa's landmass located within the rural regions of the city's boundaries, it's home to over 2,000 businesses, which includes around 1,000 farming operations. And the city states, Ottawa's rural area is dominated by high-value industries such as agricultural, construction, mineral extraction, manufacturing, warehousing. It plays an important economic function in Ottawa, with rural businesses generating approximately $1.96 billion in annual revenues. To bolster the rural economic development, the city has plans to further support availability of infrastructure services, greater flexibility in land uses, and protection of prime agricultural lands. Greater flexibility in land use will also ensure villages can flourish in the tourism industry. Number 6, mobility. Currently, with a walk score of 45 and a 50 for transit and 64 for biking in many regions of Ottawa outside the downtown core, the city is largely classified as a car-dependent with a good, but not necessarily convenient, transit system. Outlined in the new official plan, in the urban area and villages, people who walk, cycle, and use transit shall by default be given priority to support healthy, complete communities and expand the extent of the city where it is possible to live in a car-light and car-free lifestyle. With a greater emphasis on the city's climate action responsibilities, both have a sustainable and greener point of view. The role of public transit and active transportation will be prioritized, and space for automobiles more deliberately thought out. Number 7, parks and recreation facilities. A key component to improving the quality of life for residents in the community: parks and recreational facilities. It comes at no surprise that parks and recreational planning have their own separate sections under the city-wide policies. With the release of the new official plan, the city has created a new classification system to determine the right size, amenities, and location for future parks and upgrades to existing infrastructure. You can see here a sample of the criteria that the city will use. Close to homes, you have essentials like playgrounds and facilities for active recreational like outdoor rinks and soccer fields, with more extensive builds like arenas available within the city. Quantity and distribution, along with quality and public demand, all factor into the decision making for municipal recreational needs. From building new parks in the downtown core to inner urban areas, for example as part of Le Breton development, to locating new rural parks, I'm excited to see what the city has to come to fit the needs of our growing population. Number 8, school facilities. School facilities play an important role in any healthy and livable community, and are a critical piece in any 15-minute neighborhood strategy. Outside of serving as an education institution, schools are community hubs that provide infrastructure for other activities and services like childcare, sports, art facilities, and event spaces. The city has outlined 2 key priorities, which are to make it safe and easy to walk or bike to school through supportive site and neighborhood design, and locate schools and other community uses close together to provide convenient access to residents. Number 9, culture. We all know that the importance that culture plays in any city we live in. You'll find greater social cohesion, increased livability, a growing global profile, diversified economies with new businesses and tourism. The list goes on and on. But often overshadowed by the creativity and arts found in other Canadian cities nearby like Toronto and Montreal, Ottawa needs to work 10 times harder to compete and shine against those 2 cultural powerhouses. In the new official plan, the city not only plans to create new spaces and places for culture to thrive and innovate, but to strengthen the economic impact the creative and cultural industries through development proposals and lowering barriers for music, arts, and cultural events to take place. There are also plans to allocate budget for public art on city-owned land and private developments. Number 10, build accessible, inclusive communities. The healthy growth of a community means that cities are designed with a people-first approach in mind. In the new official plan, all plans and policies shall ensure that communities and places are designed to consider the needs of children, older adults, people with disabilities, women and gender diverse persons, people living with lower income, as well as those who are at greater risk for negative health and well-being outcomes. By ensuring proper steps are taken to minimize inequalities among diverse groups of people, accessible and inclusive communities increases the city's quality of life and promotes health and well-being for all residents. So there you guys have it, the new official city plan for the City of Ottawa and the expansion plans into the future. If you're thinking about making a move, feel free to reach out to us. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, even wrap it up in a bow and send it first class, because we got your back. We're moving to Ottawa or anywhere across Canada. And each and every week we're bringing brand new videos just like this one. So make sure to tap that subscribe button and click the bell so you're notified each and every time we do a brand new video. Till next time, take care.